Hi everyone, my name is Jenna. Welcome back if you've seen my last video. If not, welcome. I'm here to show you what it's like at UC Davis as a transfer student, and also just help answer any questions to help make your decision for you. And so hopefully I can show you the pros and the cons. Okay, so the first pro that I would like to say is probably the community. So with living at the Green, you're basically surrounded by other transfer students, which is really nice because it gives you that sense of community the moment you move in there. So within my building, we had lots of socials happening within the month, and then also within the floors, everybody was a transfer coming from some community college or university, which was really nice because then I felt like a part of some community with other people who had shared similar experiences with me. However, one of the cons I would say is with living with these people, it's similar to a dorm experience. So you're gonna get loud neighbors, loud upstairs neighbors, loud downstairs neighbors, and those fire alarms will go off. I remember a fire alarm went off at like midnight. So you just have to deal with the loud noises that come with living at the Green and sharing it with other people as well. So that's something that I didn't necessarily like, but it came with it. When it comes to picking your apartment, this was a pro and a con. Well, it was a pro for me, but a con for other people. So you get to have, it's like a lottery system again. So it's randomly whoever is within your group of people that you're living with, you get to choose what day, what day you move in, what apartment you're in, and then what room you're in as well. And this happens throughout like a certain week. So people might have like, you're the first day and you get to pick the first like room, and you get to have all the options of all the apartments. So you get to make choices when it comes to what building you live in, what floor, who you're living with, and then your living arrangement, which was really nice because I know for freshmen they don't really get that choice, whereas for us transfers we got to have that choice. So a couple things is when you're going through the application, you get to pick your roommate. Now I picked the roommate search where you just put in like your preferences. So I had, I'm a morning bird, I'm a very clean person, and I just wanted someone who like would want to talk with me in the middle of the night to talk about things. And I'm actually still friends with my roommate, one of them, not the other two. But that's how I used mine to find roommates. And then we would then collectively pick what floor we wanted and then also what building we wanted. It doesn't necessarily matter as to the floor or the building. They all pretty much are identical to each other. They're literally cookie cutter examples of every single one, so it's not really anything different. We just wanted the second floor because we didn't want to be on the first floor where it was a little bit louder, and then we didn't want the top floor because it was probably going to be hotter. But then again, like, it really didn't matter because everybody's floors were identical, and it worked out for us. And then the building that we picked, again, we just picked it because it was close to the gym, because there is a communal gym and space area, so we just picked that one. When you're going through the process of picking out the building and the room, you have a day that you'll get an email saying like, this is the day you get to pick. And what we did, so my roommates and I, we all called at the same time and we looked at what was available. We were pretty lucky and we got like second day choice in like the afternoon, so we got to have a lot of options for us. But then my other friends got like the last day, so they got whatever was left over. But basically through the application, they're gonna ask like who you want to be with, so you put everybody's names down, and then they'll do the same thing for you so everybody's linked together. Then on the application process, you get to pick the building, and I'll put like an image of what it looks like over here, but these are all the buildings that you can choose from, and sometimes this switches like every year, so depending on which buildings you pick, but generally this is what it's going to look like. And then you get to pick the floor that you live on and then the building you live on. And sometimes what it'll do is it'll tell you which ones are available depending on how many roommates you have. And you also get to pick. So I had 4 roommates and we all wanted to live by ourselves in our own room, but you don't have to. And I'll put the prices of each of them here as well, because the most expensive is a studio, whereas the cheapest is with a pair, 2 people in a room and then 2 people in another room. So that's something that it's really up to you as to like what you can afford and not afford. But you basically get to pick those rooms because each of them are going to have a different layout. So it'll tell you which ones you can pick. So you go through the application, you fill out which buildings you want, and then you press submit, and then you're pretty much done. And then the one final thing is you pick in your move-in date. So move-in dates either is going to be it's going to be September or a couple days before orientation starts. So you all collectively have to pick together as to when you want move-in to start, because that's also when your contract ends. So for my roommates and I, our contract was from September 15th, 2021 to August 31st, 2022. And that was our contract for somebody who's September 1st to September 1st all the way to August 1st. So as you can see, it changes quite varyingly, but it's important for all of you to move in, when you all can move in. So that's something that you'd have to talk about with them. So that can be a pro or a con depending on your living situation. I was pretty happy in the beginning with my roommates because we all had the same plan. And then in January, so within us already living in there, you also get to renew if you want to live there again. So you can live there again with the same people if you'd like to, in the same room, same everything, so you don't have to worry about housing next year. That was a con that I dealt with because January felt super early for me, and I really didn't know if I wanted to live there. And then I decided, sure, I'd live there a second year, but then something ended up happening around April and May, where I didn't want to live there anymore, and it cost about $500 for you to kind of say I'm not living there anymore. So on a financial standpoint, it's not the best, but you do have that option to leave if you want to. But that's pretty much the Green. Now, just a little side bit about Davis. Not living at the Green is definitely okay. Most of the population in Davis is run by students. So there's going to be a lot of housing options, lots of rooms, lots of homes where students can live at. I wish I did that my first year, almost to save me a little bit more money. Living at the Green is expensive, and it was something that I kind of regretted, but then didn't really regret because I got to make some new relationships with people. But it's really up to you what you can afford and what you want to do. Another con I would say with living at the Green is probably maintenance. Maintenance is a hit or miss here. It's not always the best, but sometimes they're just not gonna listen to requests. I needed something fixed, and it took a long time for them to just come to my apartment, and that comes with just how many people are making requests. So I'm not blaming maintenance, but sometimes it's difficult when I needed help and it didn't get fixed. Also too, they took forever just to help me move out of my apartment, and I'll share that story as well. But basically, I did share that I no longer live at the Green, and I don't regret not living at the Green anymore, but it's something that I definitely did not like. So an option for you as well when you do decide to live at the Green is a meal plan. Now the meal plan is not required, but it is something that is an option for you. You have the options of the Monday through Friday or Thursday through Sunday or all days of the week, or specifically only for transfers is called 9 swipes. 9 swipes is basically you only get 9 swipes throughout the week to go into the dining commons, and that's only given to the transfer students. I did the Monday through Friday meal plan my first quarter at the Green, and personally I wasn't a big fan because I had a nice kitchen at the Green, which is something I utilized often. Plus, all the foods weren't necessarily kind of tailored for me and my dietary restrictions, and so I just ended up canceling the meal plan and not doing it winter or spring quarter. But it's really up to you. I know my roommates did the meal plan all throughout the year, and it was something that was very convenient for them since they had late night classes, but it's really up to you. And again, if you want to think about saving money, that's something that I definitely looked into, because I definitely could not afford paying for a meal plan on top of the apartments as well. That's pretty much the Green. Let me know if you have any other questions about the Green or just living situations, and maybe I can just post like little stories about the Green. But that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed my video on the Green and the pros and the cons. Let me know what other information you would like about a transfer experience, or pretty much anything in general. I'm hoping to create more videos to help all of my transfer students make the best decision for them and show you what it's like to be a transfer at UC Davis.